These are 8.5 by 11 and 5 by 5. You need 2 prints of each pumpkin in order to make this wall hanging. And you need to, this is from my collection in my Etsy, and the link is below. I'm using just some cardboard, and I've got some antique music paper my husband bought me at an antique shop. And I love this stuff. It's really old, vintage. And I'm going to trim it to fit. There it fits. And I'm going to put it on with my tape roller, because that way there's no waves or, it's old paper. I don't want to mess with glue. So, but I kind of goofed up on the bottom. So I'm going to take another piece, another sheet of the paper, and rip it and just lay it over that, because you're not going to see it when it's done. But I don't want that cardboard showing on the bottom with that when I'm done with the whole piece. So I'll just take my adhesive runner, my tape runner, and put that right over it. And when the lace is on it, you won't see it. So now I'm going to cut out the big one. I'm going to cut it all the way out. I'm going to cut out all the leaves. And so take out all the white and leave the whole piece there. And here it is done, completely cut out. And now I'm going to cut out the flowers and the middle section, which I'm going to pop out with foam tape. So you need to do that before you do anything else. And here it is, they are done. And there's the one flower and the top flower. Now this flower I'm not going to use, but I cut it out just in case. You never know. So then the other prints that are below that pumpkin, you need 2 of them each. And you need to cut one out completely like you did the big one. And then just the flowers on the other print, so that you have the back, one whole print with flowers. Then you're going to pop them out as well after you put them on your wall hanging, your board, chipboard, whatever you've got that you're using. And all your flowers are there. Those are all going to be popped out. Also, the center of this pumpkin, before we do that, I'm going to ink all the edges of the music paper and also of the pumpkin prints. And there they are, all inked up. And I'm going to decide where I want this. I'm going to put things up there and just see. And then I'm just going to use some hot glue to glue this in place. I don't want it moving around, because I'm going to put lace under it and over it. And so this center piece, I'm going to add lace. This is just, fabric by the yard. And the first one that I did there, it was paper lace, and it worked perfectly. So I'm just going to kind of cut it and trim it and put it on there to follow the shape. And then I'm just going to glue it on with some fabric tack. And the nice thing about fabric tack is that it dries clear, and it is very good. It has very good holding power. So I want that. So I'm going to put that on there. You could also use modeling paste and stencil on top of that design. Now I use foam tape from the dollar store. It's double-sided. I'm just going to put some here. A couple pieces. And then I'm going to fight with the back piece to take it off. That one came off good, but this one wants to play around. Wants to fight with me. Okay, I got it. And I'm just going to place it on there. Now you could double it if you wanted to make it even higher. I like this lace for the bottom. It's what I put on the first one, so I'm going to use it again. I have to cut a little bit off so I can shove it under the pumpkins and the flowers. And I will trim it better after I have it glued on. But right now I'm just putting it so that I can get it, the bottoms where I want it, straightened out. And the glue does a real good job of straightening it too. So I put it under the leaves, even though you're not going to see that. But the bottom is what's important, and you are going to see that. So the fabric tack is important to use that so that you have a nice, clear, drying piece of lace. Now I'm going to glue these on where I want them. I'm not popping them up. I'm just going to pop the flower up. And I am just using hot glue. And I'm going to place them where I want them. And there you go. Now I'm going to pop up the flowers. Just a little bit of foam tape. And like I said, you can double that if you wanted it even higher. I have done that before. There's the first flower. And then this purple flower is hiding behind that pumpkin. But I don't care. I'm going to make it the way I want it. So I'm just going to put it a little behind there, but mostly I want to see it. So I put it on top. And then the top flower up there is the exact same, so that's up there. Now I have laces and appliques to decorate. That's an applique I had, and it just seemed to fit perfectly there. And I'm going to bring it in. I don't want it right at the edge of the page, the paper. I'd rather show some of that vintage paper. It looks nice. So I'm going to push it down, and again I'm using fabric tack. A nice transparent finish. This is fabric that I have, and I cut it apart to get these little, whatever you call, flourishes out of there, and I'm going to glue them in place. And then I have this eyelash trim that I'm going to use as vines kind of trailing down the stem. I don't know where I got the eyelash trim. It's probably 10 years old. I don't see it in the stores anywhere. I've not seen it. But you can, use any trim that you have that just looks kind of like it might be a vine. I mean, there's a lot of them out there. So I just used my art glitter glue for that because it's narrow and I can use the tip and it works nicely. Now I'm going to cover up that other flower that I didn't cut off with cut out with the flourish, the applique, the pink applique. And I'm going to trim the edges. And now I just have to add a label, a sticker. And these are the other two. These are 5 by 5 inches. And I popped them out, the flowers. And the center one on this, I popped out and I covered it with lace and with appliques. Same with this one. I popped out the flowers, applique, lace. I just had fun with it. And then for this one, these stickers are from the dollar store. And I just recently purchased them, so they may still have them in your area. I pull them apart. And I just use them as I want. Now, in the original wall art, I did glitter the flowers, but you don't have to. So there you go, all set.